Hey guys, what I'm going to show you today is a very simple recipe for a quick and easy chili. And this isn't very spicy. You could make it as spicy or as hot as you would like. This is actually a very simple recipe. It's got good flavor, but it's not hot. So what I'm going to do is I've taken about a little under 1 pound of hamburger meat, and this is meat that we got from Whole Foods, and it is the grass-fed stuff. A lot of times people don't want to use the grass-fed stuff just because it's a little bit more expensive. This is one way that you can use it to where it helps stretch it out a little bit. Alright, so once you get the meat browned, and this is a relatively lean, I guess you would call it maybe cut of the beef, what you'll want to do is you're going to add in beans and you're going to add in Italian stewed tomatoes. And for this particular recipe, it calls for 4 cans of ranch beans and 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. Prior to browning the meat, what I did was I added in some chili powder and also some garlic powder just for a little bit of flavor. These are the Italian stewed tomatoes that we like to use. I like the flavor of them. Again, if you have a different brand, this is the S&W, and you notice I've got the date on there. I tend to write whenever we buy this stuff. That way I know when I got them and all that kind of jazz, when it's ready to get rid of. So this is from December of 2011, and these are from March of 2012. And like I said, I'll be using 4 cans of these, and these are just the ranch style beans. You can get these at Walmart, pretty much anywhere. That's about the cheapest place I've found them. These, sometimes you can get them at Sam's Club, or not Sam's Club, but Costco. And certain grocery stores, some of them carry them, some of them they don't. So here's something that I like to do, which is once you, usually with these, the chunks are pretty big that come out of this. And so what I like to do is put them in the blender, and I've got a Vitamix, and you can put them in there and put it on the low setting. And what that will do for you, let me get the lid here, is it will kind of dice everything up and give you a nice consistency. The way we used to do it is I would take some scissors and would kind of process them that way. This way it takes very little time. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Again, you want it on the low setting. And that should about do it. And what I'll do is I'll process the other can. I do it 1 can at a time, and that way I seem to get better consistency. I'll process the other can, again, of the S&W Organic Italian Recipe Stewed Tomatoes. And I'll put that in, put the beef back on the heat, and then I'll just add in the ranch style beans 1 can at a time. And again, I'll be using 4 cans of those. Alright, now we've got that going again. So what we'll do, we've added the 2 cans of the Italian stewed tomatoes, and we'll just add in 1 at a time the beans here. What's nice about this particular recipe is that the yield you'll get, if you scoop this out using a regular one cup measuring cup, it'll give you about 10 1-cup servings. And because the chili has what we consider, of course, to be good flavor, but is not very hot or spicy, a lot of times if you've got kids that don't like the really hot spicy chili, this is something that they can eat. Or if you just got regular adults like myself that aren't too fond of the really super hot and spicy stuff, this is quite the ticket. Now, what I'll usually like to do with this, of course, right now, you could go ahead and eat it once it was heated to the temperature that you like, because the beans and of course the tomatoes don't. The beans have already been pre-cooked, and the tomatoes and all that stuff have been stewed already. So once you've got that meat browned, pretty much you could eat this as is. What I like to do is I'll bring it to a boil, and then I will let it simmer for about, I'd say about 15 minutes, maybe 20 sometimes. And that lets everything, all the flavors and everything kind of combine and makes a nice meal. It freezes quite well, so that you can, if you wanted to make a bunch of things, little meals ahead of time, you can put them into the, what we use is a lot of the disposable plastic Tupperware type stuff, and that seems to do quite well. Even though they're disposable, we reuse them and reuse them all the time. But you can freeze them in whatever serving size you like, and then it's a quick and easy meal. Probably the total cook time for something like this is probably about maybe 30 minutes. You've probably got about 10 minutes of actual prep where you would cook the meat and then ready the other stuff. And then once you get them in there, once that meat is brown again, and once you get the rest of the ingredients in the pot, pretty much you're just letting it kind of cook a little bit so that all the flavors kind of come together, and then you're ready to serve. All right, well, hope you enjoyed it. I will, in the description area under on the video, I'll go ahead and put the list of ingredients, what I used. Hope you guys enjoyed.